Hey everyone, I'm Matt. Welcome to this week's video. Well, we are well into the springtime here. I just sent off a couple of massive checks to the state and the feds. Always love doing that, sending huge chunks of money to criminal organizations so they can misappropriate and fritter away my money. Thanks a lot, guys. With the springtime comes some better weather, and we are definitely having some good weather, and because of that, I've been very busy with drone work. I haven't been around the property at all this week, and so I haven't had time to shoot, edit, and upload a video. So instead of doing a project video, I just thought I'd take a few minutes this morning before I leave and kind of give you guys an update, sort of follow up on some projects that I've completed and maybe a preview of some projects to come. Walking out here in the orchard, you can see the awesome striping job that my robot mower is doing. We're going to follow up with the robot mower here in just a few minutes. I've had it for a couple of weeks and that thing's working awesome. I got my fruit trees out here. This one's in full bloom. These two are leafing out. I'm pretty sure these two are the apple trees. One of the interesting things when we moved here, I transplanted these 4 trees. These are actually quite large. They were not planted in ideal locations at the old house. You can see they've grown kind of funny, and that's because they were competing with some spruce trees. Spruce trees were growing faster, and these were just reaching out for some light. And so I did not prune them this year. I wasn't sure that they were going to survive. I basically just uprooted them with my tractor, and I didn't know how they would handle that. But all 3 of these have already been in bloom, and they are leafed out. This one here definitely took it the hardest, but it's got a few blooms on it, and I'm starting to see some leaves poking out here and there, and there's definitely some live branches. So I think all of these will survive. That's good news. Now, a few weeks ago, I rented a trencher, and I trenched about 250 feet down my driveway. You can't see it anymore because I did it right along the edge of the grass and the gravel there. But I ran a 10 gauge direct bury low voltage line and some 3/4 inch PEX. I haven't finished yet, but here's the low voltage wire, and I installed this yard hydrant right here. The low voltage line is going to power these LED spotlights here. Got some wire poking up right there in front of my sign. And I'm going to be putting another project box right there. The plan is this fall to install a motion activated sprinkler system at each one of my fruit trees all the way around the orchard here to deter the deer and elk from destroying them, because they destroyed them last year. So that will actually be coming up in I think 2 videos, because I'm going to do one on trenching and putting in the yard hydrants, and then I'll do another one at a later date with the motion activated sprinkler system. It's funny, the deer don't seem to mind the robot mower at all. Got a couple of deer right there, and what I see 4, 5, and the robot mower is just mowing away. They don't even seem to mind me that much. You got one right there. Yeah, 5 out there. Robot mowers right there. Definitely some chill deer. Another soon to come project that I'm going to share in a video is this greenhouse that I'm building. It is 12 feet by 32 feet. This area is going to be enclosed with some clear PVC panels. That's going to have essentially just bird netting on it, and that's going to keep the deer and the birds out of all the berries over here. So that's coming up in a video soon. Out here behind the shop, I've got another video in progress. You can see the remnants of a tree right here. Some of this is actually on the neighbor's property, but I went over and got permission to work on her side of the line. But I've got this big spruce tree, and the top blew out of it during a big windstorm. Fortunately, it blew out this direction. I got caught up in this forked alder tree right here. It was a huge mess and very dangerous, and I ended up using a combination of winch lines and some rigging and stuff to essentially get everything on the ground and get it all cut up. It's a lot safer right now, but I still need to fall what's left of this alder tree and what's left of this spruce tree. I did film the whole thing, so when I get a chance to finish cleaning this mess up, that will be coming out in a video as well. Back to the trenching project, I installed another yard hydrant right here in front of the shop because there was no water in the shop. It was interesting, I called for a locate when I did this, And you know, I had all the utilities. I had a line across here, and all the utilities came and wrote, you know, no PPL, no Northwest Natural, et cetera, et cetera. But what was interesting to me is I discovered these concrete wells right here, and I assumed that this was water supplying this yard hydrant because I did not put that one in, and it does have water. It works just fine. However, when I excavated all the dirt out of them, I found this 2-inch PVC down there and 2 communication lines and a locate wire. This did not show up on the locate. No one located this. I do not know what this is. I can't get these valves to operate. They're stuck. Seems really weird for 2-inch PVC to be supplying this little yard hydrant. The only, you know, we've got a 1-inch water line that supplies the house. What this 2-inch line is doing here, I have no idea. My initial plan was to use, it was to tie my newly buried line into this water line here, but now I'm not really sure what this is, and so I'm a little afraid to cut into it. I figure if I can get the valves to operate and closed, I'll figure out what it shuts off on my property. Might shut off the neighbor's water, I have no idea. But there's no easement here. I don't even know what the heck this is. So anyway, mystery. I'll figure it out. That video is coming up. All right, we're here in the shop. Haven't done a shop update in a little while, but I haven't accomplished a lot out here either. Basically, the next step out here in the shop for moving all my equipment up is wiring. I mentioned in previous videos the breaker box was essentially empty when I moved in here. I've got 400 amp service here, but I've got essentially no power anywhere now. I've temporarily rigged up some outlets, and that way I can work. Of course, I got all the lighting done. However, I need several 50 amp 240 volt circuits for my lathe milling machine, rotary screw compressor, my 3 welders, iron worker, and plasma table. And until I get that in here, I don't want to move that equipment up here because it's still in operation in my old shop, and I still have some metalworking projects occasionally. Now, what the heck is this can of worms right here? Well, this is another upcoming video sometime soon. This is a 2010 Volkswagen Touareg that I purchased here last week. I paid $3,500 for it. Seems like a steal. It's running, driving. It is in very good condition. Body's nice and straight, paint's good. It's a fully optioned TDI model, so it's got great leather interior. It's actually really clean. Headliner's sagging. I already got a quote to replace that at a local upholstery shop. And that center console, I know from arm sweat or something, is kind of messed up, but I've got another one of those coming as well. So the big issue was the dash was lit up like a Christmas tree with every warning light possible. And the first and major, most pressing issue was that alternator right there had failed. Now, this vehicle is highly over-engineered and stupid difficult to work on. It took me around 5 hours to get that alternator out. It only comes out through the top. It cannot come out through the fender well or from the bottom. And I just had to remove so much crap to get to it. Super difficult. That was why it wasn't done. The previous owner just didn't have any money to go any further and repair it. The alternator itself, not available at any auto parts stores. I was able to find OE new Vallejo alternators for around $700 to $900 at various online vendors. Through Volkswagen, it's about $1,400. So it's a stupid expensive alternator, and it's stupid difficult to change. But I've got a new one that's supposed to arrive here tomorrow. So yeah, this is going to be my overland vehicle for the summer's trips that I have planned. Have a series of videos planned on that one, so you'll see this making some more appearances in the near future. Now, longtime followers of my channel will know that I've got this 2018 Suzuki V-Strom. I like doing overland adventure style riding. It's currently my only motorcycle, and I do have 2 fairly long trips planned this summer with it. I've got a 14-day trip planned doing the Utah BDR with my son, and a shorter 4-day trip planned doing a portion of the Oregon BDR with a few friends locally. So I'm going to be doing some upgrades, maintenance, service, repairs, things like that on this bike, and those videos will be coming up fairly soon. This battery pack's going to make a quick cameo here. This is a nickel metal hydride pack. It's a battery pack for my Warn Pulsall winches, these things right here. And As you can see, these batteries have failed and are leaking all over the place. And I've got 4 of these packs. All of them are bad. I'm going to do a video on rebuilding these packs with new cells sometime in the very near future. Let's go back here into the warehouse. I don't think I've had a camera back here yet, maybe, but this is the lean-to that was on the back of the shop. It's nice, it's enclosed, it's insulated in here and drywalled. There's a lot of stupid spray foam everywhere, and I haven't cut that everywhere yet, but I've been making progress on that. I bought a bunch of surplus pallet racking from a local Big Lots that went out of business, and so I've got all this, 4-foot deep, 10-foot high pallet racking, and I've managed to consolidate all my junk from my hangar, my attic, and my old shop here. And it is not fully organized yet, but it's getting pretty close, and I'm pretty happy with it. Really, the organization out here has introduced hiccups into a lot of my projects because when I need to find plumbing, for example, I end up unearthing about 6 totes that are all labeled plumbing. And then I gotta pull all the stuff out of all 6 totes and decide what I'm keeping, what I'm selling, and then consolidate them all and put them back in a more organized and labeled fashion. So yeah, it's one of those sequences that just seems to add time to each one of my projects. All right, last up on the list is my robot mower. I've had this thing for about 2 weeks now. I did a video on it. I think it's actually coming back right now to charge. I just got the notification on my phone. It's working really well, better than I anticipated. I have it currently mowing around, about 1.7 acres on my property. So this field back here, this side yard here, see, look at it. It's precision working its way through the gate on its way back to the charging station. Anyway, this south field here, this side yard, and then the orchard it is mowing. It is slow, however, it works all night long, and it works really well. It's striped everything nicely, and it comes back and charges itself right there at my charging dock, which I may be moving at some point here, but at least for now, that's where it's staying. I will say, you can't let the grass get too far away from it. Once the grass gets to be more than about a foot tall, it actually sees the grass as an obstacle and drives around it instead of mowing through it. However, if you manually drive it through that grass, it handles the tall grass just fine. It just, I don't know, it sees big clumps of grass, probably the same thing as like a soccer ball or something. So I would say that's been the only frustration with it is when I first started mowing out here, the grass over there was really tall, probably 16, 18 inches, and it just avoided that area because it saw that as an obstacle. But beyond that, it hasn't gotten stuck. It's worked really well. I haven't had to break out my riding mower at all. So it has mowed all of this consistently for the last 2 weeks and has given me 0 problems. You watch it back itself up there and start charging.
Start charging.
Nice. So I've actually had the mower on a task out here. Be a little hard to see, especially with the shadows out here in the early morning, but I actually had the mower mowing a message into my grass out here. I sent the drone up a couple of days ago, and I had a friend fly over in his airplane a few days ago and send me a video to see just how visible that message was. It's a very important message, and so I thought it deserved an acre of my property to make sure it gets out there. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on next week's video.